Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We're going to do a short video preview for Buckeye Game Fest. As of this recording, it is Saturday, August 31st, which means that Buckeye Game Fest starts in 2 days, Monday, for those of us who are participating in the War Room. But I will get to that. So let's first of all take a look at what Buckeye Game Fest has to offer. Here is BuckeyeGameFest.com. This is September 5th through the 8th. Now that's Thursday through Sunday, but we'll get to that. The War Room starts on the 2nd. That is Labor Day. So we've got a bunch of stuff here. Buckeye Game Fest is held in Columbus, Ohio. It is held at the Hyatt Regency, which is one of the downtown hotels that is connected to the Greater Columbus Convention Center. That is the same convention center that Origins is held in, although obviously this is a much smaller event. And it is only in the hotel, or the one hotel, not the entire convention center. So for those of you who are familiar with the layout of that facility, I didn't see a map on here, but it is downstairs in the Hyatt, on the same level as the food court. It is in fact just around the corner from the food court. Buckeye Game Fest has more vendors this year. I'm not familiar with some of these folks. Beyond the Board is a local game store slash. I think it's just a game store actually. There's a number of those board game cafes in Columbus now, and I was thinking Beyond the Board was one of them, but I am mistaken about that apparently. Capstone Games, I am not sure what they do. Gaming Nomads, I believe, is a sort of gaming service provider, I would call them. I think they will run things at Buckeye Game Fest. They do the Artemis Spaceship Bridge Simulator. Buckeye Game Fest is the best place I know of to participate in that because there is no additional cost on top of the cost of your badge to do it. It's a ton of fun, but if you do it at Origins, you have to buy event tickets for it, and they're relatively pricey event tickets. At Buckeye Game Fest, you can just do it all day for not for free because you've already paid, but you've already paid. Enterprise Games, this will be the primary vendor of war games at Buckeye Game Fest, so we will definitely be spending some time gawking at their products. Two Silver Denari LLC, the creators of Royal, a company founded on the firm belief that playing games with an actual person is good for a person. Okay. I'm not sure what exactly they're going to be doing, but we have Dirty Woods, personal polyhedral protection products in resin art, and Dice Towers. So I'll be checking them out too, see what they have. Mid-Level Meeple sounds like a vendor of games. JML Games, developer behind Get Off My Lawn, the soon-to-be critically acclaimed card battle for generational superiority. Parallel Games, this looks like another publisher to me. Mistrick Waboose, looks like t-shirts and stuff. We might be checking that out. Hipline Industries, creator and publishers of Gamma Grunts, a game design, development, and publishing company out of Columbus, Ohio. I wonder who's behind this, because that means I might know these folks. In addition to the vendors, this is not right like a huge shopping convention, although you could have fooled me because Enterprise Games comes there and they tend to have brought quite a bit of stuff that I want. So definitely check all these folks out. But if you're interested in war games specifically, Enterprise Games is where you would like to be, in addition to the War Room. The War Room at Buckeye Game Fest is a dedicated wargaming space available for extended hours during the week of the show. So officially, the War Room opens at 9 a.m. on Monday, and I'll pretty much be there at 9 a.m. There are scheduled events. This is very loosely structured at Buckeye Game Fest, and I feel like this is a problem because nobody knows what is going on at Buckeye Game Fest unless you happen to have talked to the people that are doing things. There are people that are doing things. So we'll get to that in a minute. It does cost extra for the War Room ribbon, and this is not the privilege of being in the room. It's the privilege of being there for an extra 3 days. You do get this cost refunded if you're staying at the hotel. I don't know what these Monopoly-looking pieces are here for. And in fact, only 2 of these 4 photos are actually taken in the War Room. This is from a couple of years ago. This was a third winter game that I wasn't participating in. This is the bottom big picture is the third winter game that I was participating in. I know because I took this picture. And all these all these guys will be here, and we'll talk about what we're doing. Let's talk about special guests very quickly for those of you who attend conventions and enjoy interfacing with special guests. We have Rodney Smith, who has a YouTube channel that is much bigger than this one. He does Watch It Played, and he's done a bunch of games. It's actually quite a good channel. It's not a war game channel, but it's a very good board game channel. Special guest Richard Launius, who apparently designed Arkham Horror, which is a game I've actually never played. It's kind of always been on my list of things I would like to play. James Nathan, who is a regular contributor to the Opinionated Gamers blog, typically covering the Japanese Doujin beat. I don't know what that is. And Dale Yu, who is design credits for the Agricola X deck, Fliz and Mies, Start Free, and Gib Gas. Looks like that's outside of my wheelhouse. But back into my wheelhouse is Mr. David Thompson, who I did meet at Origins this year, and who is the designer of a number of very interesting war games or wargame adjacent products, including the brand new Undaunted Normandy. He also designed Pavlov's House and Castle Itter, and those are actually super interesting games as well. I'm not sure what hours anybody in particular is going to be at the fest, but I would assume that all the special guests will probably be there starting on Thursday. I could be wrong about that. I do not, despite living in Columbus, I don't make it to these meetings, so I don't actually have any huge special insight as to anyone's exact schedule. There's also a consignment store. Now, I talked about this in last year's Buckeye Game Fest wrap video. Obviously, not all war games, which would be fabulous, but there'll probably be several thousand items in this thing, general board games, and sometimes you will get stuff for very, very good prices. So this stuff will be occurring on Saturday of the convention. That's September 7th. So very much looking forward to seeing that. You can sell stuff. I don't even know how this works because I never sell anything. You get... there is a processing fee, which if you sell it is 10%, and if you don't sell it, it's a quarter. And it's $1 to get a seller number, so you only have to pay that once. But like I said, there will be many thousands of items in this consignment store, and it's definitely worth checking out. The way this works, though, I guess I should explain this. If you put something up for sale, you will put 3 prices on it. A wave 1 price, a wave 2 price, and a wave 3 price. And generally the way it works is that you'll put your highest price, the price you would love to get for it, for wave 1, a price that you'll find acceptable in wave 2, and a price in wave 3 that means please take it away. So you can, as a buyer, choose to buy it in wave 1 because you really want it, or try to wait for wave 3 and hope nobody else buys it in the meantime. So you can definitely get some wave 3 bargains, and sometimes even some wave 1 or 2 bargains. So check that out. What do I know? And again, this is all loosely organized for the War Room, and it's something I'd like to talk to them about for next year, because the trouble, it seems to me, with this kind of event is that you're going to go based on something specific being played that you want to be played. Well, what's being played at Buckeye Game Fest? Well, again, if you don't happen to be talking to any of the people who are doing those things, you probably don't know. So here's what I know is happening at Buckeye Game Fest. Won't be everything, but this is just the stuff that's getting set up on Monday and played. The big game is going to be La Bataille de la Moskva, 3rd edition. This is a La Bataille series game. It's big, it's complicated. I think they're going to have at least 4 and maybe as many as 6 players on this. They have a blown up version of the map. It's going to be very large and impressive. I will get some pictures of it. I am not one of the people who is playing this. I have stubbornly resisted several offers to get into Labatt because my interest level in tactical Napoleonics is just not there. for this kind of project that getting into a system the weight of Labatt would entail. And the games are also large and expensive. The good news is they don't come out that often, so there's that. What I will be playing is a number of things. We're going to set up OCS Baltic Gap because we feel that it's not really Buckeye Game Fest unless there's an OCS game going there. We'll probably have 4 people around this table. This will be our nominal main game, but we'll see how far we get. Definitely, it's a game I've wanted to play. It's an OCS title that I haven't played yet, so I'm very interested in seeing how that works. We are going to be playing something revolving around this product, the old 4 Battles of Army Group South quad from SPI. So what we'll be doing, and I guess I can talk about this since nobody made me sign an NDA, is a playtest of a new quad of games from the exploits of Army Group South, using essentially the same system as the old SPI Army Group South quad. It's 4 new battles. I think we're not going to get to play the whole thing, but we'll probably get to play definitely 2 of the battles, and I have a hunch that we're going to play each of the 2 battles that we have out of the quad twice. That's my feeling. We're also going to set up one of the smaller scenarios from the Eastern Front. This is part of the Der Weltkrieg World War I system. This is going to be a side game, but nevertheless, we do feel like we're going to make some progress in it. We're either going to set up Tannenberg or Galicia or the combined Tannenberg and Galicia scenario. So it's going to be 1 or 2 maps. We're going to have 2 people at it, we think, but we'll see how that goes. Like I said, it's going to be kind of a side game. We'll see how things develop. I'm kind of playing it by ear just to keep my options open. Another thing that we're going to have on the side is Next War India-Pakistan from GMT. A couple of our guys from the local group have these games and keep wanting to get them to the table. And this is our opportunity to do that and to kind of feel out the system. So I've been looking at the rules on these. The Next War series is based on the old game, I think, Crisis Korea from GMT. That was a Gene Billingsley design, and then Mitchell Land has kind of taken it over and done 4 new games in the series: Next War Korea, Taiwan, Poland, and India-Pakistan. Of these, India-Pakistan is considered the simplest because there is no naval. So we're going to start with this. There is a basic game, which is not particularly complicated, and an advanced game, which is quite complicated because it adds a gigantic air system to the game. You have a relatively simple air system in the basic game. The advanced air system is quite complicated, but it looks very neat, and to be honest, it looks like the most reasonable treatment of modern conflicts of the games that I have seen, bearing in mind that that is not a topic that I am exceptionally interested in. I am somewhat interested in it, so I don't have broad knowledge of the field for this kind of modern conflict type of game. Obviously, this was a big topic back in the late 70s and 80s because we were still in the Cold War at the time, and then it kind of died, and recently there's been something of a resurgence of these Cold War gone hot type of scenarios. But that's not what this is. This is actually near future from now, modern hypothetical conflicts. So, and then of course we got Labatt. Now I know for sure that we're going to have games like Labyrinth. Last year we had some people playing multiple games from the Gamers Brigade, Civil War Brigade series, so we're going to see a lot of that. The War Room will really pick up on Thursday when the convention itself begins in full, and there's just going to be more people there. I'll have pictures of all this. I will try to do a video or 2 from the event. Obviously, I'm going to be there pretty much beginning to end. So this is kind of my main in-town wargaming thing. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to it all year, so we'll see. And I should mention, in addition to Mr. Thompson, the Grant and Alexander from the Players Aid will be at Buckeye Game Fest 2. Now, I haven't found out when they are arriving, but I will find out at some point. Probably it's Thursday or Friday, but we'll see. But they're going to be there too. I have sort of said we're going to try and do something together, but we'll see how that plays out. We may stick them in I may give them an Army Command and OCS or do something different. We'll see. We will have OCS up and running, and I don't think either of those guys that they've talked about have played OCS, so that's a fabulous opportunity for us to send them into the burning cauldron of fire. So look forward to seeing those guys again as well. So we'll see you all at Buckeye Game Fest. I'll have more video on this as the event begins and proceeds.